Hi, we're going to talk respect for the property. This is on the list of pathways to professionalism. Respect for the property, respect for peers, and respect for our clients. We're going to start with property here. The first one, and I just want to give a few highlights of this, is be responsible. You are ultimately responsible for that property when you are showing it, which includes keys and the contents. And I think in spirit of that, the next one following saying keeping all members together is a great one. It's really easy when you're showing a property. Wife goes to the kitchen, husband goes here to the man cave or whatever, and kids run just looking for toys. My advice is keep everyone together. It helps the property stay safe, secure. You've got a lot less instances of a seller coming home to toys being thrown all over the playroom and them not understanding why. It also is going to reduce any buyer that might have temptation to maybe take something. And that's not necessarily out of theft. Sometimes little kids just, see shiny objects and they just want to fill their pockets up. So keeping everyone together, I think, is good. Not only so you know at the same pace whether your buyers like a house or like a feature or don't like it, but also for the safety of everyone in the group and for the property. Next is never give unaccompanied access. Don't just give the key to your client, say, run over and take a look at it. I know it's really easy sometimes with those keys on HUD homes that might match to just let your investor go and take their own tour because you're so busy. Please no, please don't do that. That is really super unethical. It's also really super unsafe if one of them were to fall or have an injury. You really need to know what was there, what was happening there for that instance. Unaccompanied access, I'm going to personally recommend. That means going out to show it on their own. We know that's a no-no. I also am going to caution you about having your folks there early, walking the premises without you. Just because it's a house and you need a key to get in, being on the premises is still being on someone's property. Real estate isn't just the house, it's also the land that it sets on, correct? So even if you've got a vendor that's going to be going over on behalf of one of your clients, like a roofer that doesn't need inside the property, still make sure that you're getting permission for those. So that's letting them just on the premises, maybe before or outside of an appointment. The other one is after. If your folks are still touring the exterior of the property and you're hitting the gas to get to your next appointment, please slow down. Again, when we talk about access, just because there's a key to get inside the house, remember it is still their property. And you really want to be there the entire time your clients are there. With that though, enter the property only with permission, and this includes vacant properties. Just because it's for sale doesn't mean that we can just come and go as we please. People really need verification that they can get in. Now, if you really do have a vacant property and you don't want to deal with all maybe the showing time, if you're using that program of approving appointments, you can set it so that it automatically confirms that showing request. Yet you do still need to request a showing. Every once in a while, a vacant property maybe has work being done to it, maybe new carpets being installed or a bathtub resurfaced. Yes, its availability is probably convenient, yet every once in a while there's something like that that may not be the best day for your buyer to tour anyway. Leave the property as you found it. This means that if lights are on, you leave lights on. The reason we have this as a rule, just to clear this up, because this one gets miscommunicated and argued all the time. The reason that we have buyers agents leave the lights on and leave it how they found it is we don't know that after we're done showing, there isn't a second, third, fourth, 10th showing after we leave. And obviously your seller wants the house to look bright and light. That's the reason that they're leaving lights on in the first place. They want it to look like that for every showing. So really, if you've got a seller that does not want those lights left on, they should leave a note. Otherwise, if they're going to be gone all day at a triple soccer tournament, they need to just know that when they come home that night, the lights probably will have been left on all day. And that might be okay too, because if you got a last minute showing and they're stuck out on a ball field or something, or out for the day, they know that the lights are still on and it's presenting how they want it to. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of you going back and forth and turning lights on and off if it's unnecessary, because that's a huge investment of your time. But do set the standard with your seller how that works. Contact listing broker if something is amiss. If you feel like a door was left open that shouldn't have been, I've had a few times where all of a sudden we hear a toilet that's just running and not stopping. Let the agent know, give them a courtesy call or text and let them know that something's happening. I had an agent once call and let me know about a running toilet, and my folks were on vacation and it was leaking. The crack had broken, the seal or whatever it is in the toilet. And thankfully we were able to get that plumber over there sooner rather than later, because they were on a 2-week vacation. And when they came back 2 weeks later, I think they probably would have had some wet ceiling and drywall to replace. You never know. So I'm always thankful to the agent that gave me that phone call. Please do that yourselves. The next one is be considerate of the seller's property. Now we know that cabinets stay, closets stay, dressers and the personal items in the closets and in the cabinets do not. So it might be very tempting. And sometimes we open a closet and a seller has something very interesting in there. I've seen a lot of like roller ab, I think they were called ab rollers, tucked in someone's bathtub and some things. We've all seen crazy things, right? Yet just know the difference between personal and real property and be very considerate of it. Use sidewalks to protect the landscaping. Remove footwear in inclement weather. I would say if you are showing houses on a really rainy day, or you maybe are at that time of winter where things are melting and everything is just wet and muddy and the snow isn't pretty anymore, it might behoove you to even have a traveling mat that you put out for shoes right when you enter the home, right inside the door or right outside. You might have a traveling mat just for shoes. That might be something that's helpful, but do keep in mind inclement weather and your footwear, what you might be tracking in. And of course, if there are signs that say no shoes, that means have shoes removed and communicate that properly. Avoid cell phone distractions during showings. I love having my phone on silent. Has anyone tried it? Yes. That way, when you're on an appointment, you can be focused. Now, we all know we've got things that come up while we're maybe going to be out with a buyer for 2 or 3 hours. And I would say if you do need to take that communication, just ask permission from your client. They're normally very accommodating and very thankful that you at least asked. Be alert to avoid the unexpected. This is what I'm going to call, before you enter any property, you have your realtor ooh-hoo. And this is when you enter the property, you knock on the door loudly, you ring the doorbell, and then when you answer, you have, or when you enter, you have the hello, realtor, hello. And then you want to take a quick listen, right? Do we hear creaking floors of someone walking? Do we hear running water? Make sure you give just a quick listen, and then also be aware of entering any rooms where the door may be closed. We think we've got all this great communication, especially with showing time, which has saved my life, I know, several times in terms of communication, yet it still does have Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it will happen, right? And every once in a while, there's a communication error. So to avoid the unexpected, just be alert before you barge into a room with a closed door. You never know who's going to suck down from college at Iowa State because they think that their parents were out of town and have a mini party. I've had that happen. So again, I knew something was amiss when bedroom doors were shut, and sure enough, there was a sleepover happening. So just be mindful of that. Practice respect when the owner is home during showings. We don't have this happen very often. We typically, of course, want our sellers to be gone. I think that's good practice for our business. Every once in a while, we've got a seller that stays home, either because they're for sale by owner, they maybe don't know that they should leave, or we've got elderly or a unique situation like that, that maybe they don't want to leave and get out into the elements. First of all, communicate that. If someone's going to be home, communicate that with the buyer's agent. Don't give them a heart attack when they show up and have the unexpected and scream profanities at your seller because they didn't know that they were going to be there. We don't want that to happen. But we do want to be courteous while they're there. So again, any conversations about the property, keep those outside and be cordial while you're inside. If anything, I don't want you to share a lot of information because, of course, I don't want you to give away a client's perspective on whether they maybe really like it and are writing an offer, or whether they just really think it's the worst house they've ever been in, of course, right? Now we are on to respect for the public, and we'll see you in a little bit.